Way back about 7 or so years ago, even before then, there have been series of bills, to attempt to regulate civil society. Those bills were largely driven by the the legislators, and they were not that friendly, actually, or enabling to the civil society organizations.
Over the years, you would have seen that there has always been conversation around NGO bill. NGOs are not regulated, NGOs are over-regulated. Depends on the side that you want to look at it. So our role is to put civil society in the midst of that conversation.
It then became necessary to actually support a process where, rather than just a legislator coming up with a bill, maybe it's better for civil society to be involved and work with the legislators to come up with something, if at all a bill is needed anyway, and even review holistically what is already exists.
Also, through the EU Act project, we are looking at strengthening the regulatory environment that civil society organizations work in. And through that, we are working with government agencies, particularly the Corporate Affairs Commission, PENCOM, the FIRS, SCOMO, to mention a few, and just basically working and engaging with them to ensure that the regulatory environment in which civil society organizations function is conducive for them.
We are looking at four priority areas, four strategic priority areas. The first one is strengthening civil society regulatory framework at national level. That's basically dealing with extant laws. Okay. And the second priority is supporting civil society, especially networks, to engage for harmonization of civil society registration procedures. The third priority is supporting civil society to come up with some sort of self-regulatory framework, so that if they can self-regulate, is also a good thing. It adds to the credibility. And the fourth is more like a cross-cutting priority, is supporting establishment of a functioning online civil society regulatory platform. And what that platform would do is actually basically have a compendium of the key relevant laws and regulations, simplified format in one place online, so CSOs can go to it, and then they will be aware of the requirement of these different regulations and try to comply, and there will be back-end support. Something else that is not often talked about, I mentioned the gender and social inclusion. You make laws, but you don't look at how the gender and socially inclusive these laws are. And so we got a team to actually, I believe for the first time, actually focusedly carry out evidence research, okay, to see how gender and socially inclusive regulatory frameworks are.
There should be mutual consensus among the regulators and the civil society, and that is our role. That is what we are doing, facilitating some level of constructive engagement between the two to be able to, and we are getting that result. We are happy that we went that direction.
We actually have, in terms of achievement, been able to get the networks from all the 36 states plus FCT to come together to develop a self-regulatory framework after consultation, national, regional. And in fact, on the 12th of May, that framework is going to be validated, and then the adoption phase would kick in.
So Rivers Network of NGOs is a partner to Nigerian Network of NGOs. Even under the Component 2, we also had a grant. We qualified for a grant under the Component 2, and so we're working with Nigerian Network of NGOs as well.
So the legal compliance and the funding are the key issues, and the program is very strategic. The EU Act program is very strategic and targets those areas. And it has really, in my own view, It has really touched and have done quite a lot to improve the legal compliance with the regulations, compliance with taxation, payment of tax, or getting the tax clearance certificates, and also in terms of paying the annual returns, registration with SCOMs and other regulatory agencies. I think the program has done wonderfully well.
A key sustainability measure for us would be that at the end of the day, even beyond us as a program, civil society and the legislators and the regulators are still able to have access to one another and talk and continue to dialogue.